Okay, let's start. I think Dilip sir has started with all the family medicine chapters. Few topics are left, so I'll be covering all remaining topics. This family medicine is very important because you'll be getting a PBQ likely from family medicine. Likely you may get both the PBQ in your board exam, or one the sure you'll get. It's high chance that you'll get both the PBQ from family medicine. So it's one of the very important chapters. So PBQ you'll be very scoring high marks in PBQ, and it is like clinical. You won't be bored to learn more. So today we are talking about measles. Okay, it's a viral disease. I think you know more about virus now than ever before in your microbiology. So we are talking about measles, which is a very deadliest disease. Okay, it has a very high mortality, and it was very high, like it was a epidemic in many parts of world in a very past thing. We have to say it is very deadly. Its mortality is very high. Okay, its mortality is almost 30%, so higher than this COVID. Okay, so it's very deadliest disease. So we are going to talk about this in this today's lecture. So the appearance, when you see this, are you seeing the screen? There's a picture. So when you see rashes in a child, mostly in a developing country like ours, when you see the rashes in a child less than 5 years of age, so you have to think it might be a measles. Okay, so this is the typical features of measles rash when you see a child suffering from measles. So we'll talk about other things on coming further slides. So measles is a very old disease. Okay, it was we have known record of measles in almost early time of 7th century. So it was first described by a Persian physician, okay, Raziz, in 10th century. Okay, it's a more dreadful disease than a smallpox. At that time, smallpox was just causing pandemic around the world. Okay, so it was more deadliest than smallpox at that time. Okay, so they later on other scientists, they have discovered the incubation period. Okay, so they have known about the immunity gained by infection. Okay, next, that maybe other people, they have isolated the virus. Okay, and they have seen what kind of features the virus carries, or what are the different microbiological aspect of virus and all. Okay, so coming to the agent factor, what will happen? It's a RNA virus. It's just like coronavirus. It's a RNA virus. The source of infection is case. Okay, when you are in contact with the case, you may get a measles. Okay, so what are the infective material to get measles? It's similar to COVID, so that it will be, I'm just giving you reference of COVID because by now you know much more thing about coronavirus and all. Okay, the infective material for measles is similar to this thing. They are secretion from nose, throat, and respiratory tract. Okay, so when you sneeze, cough, or there is a secretion from throat or respiratory tract, that may be a infective material to a next person. Okay, the mode of transmission is airborne. Okay, so for coronavirus, it was a droplet infection. Again, the WHO has now said that it is also a airborne disease. So similar to that, measles is also transmitted in air. Okay, so the period of infectivity. Okay, when are the people or person they are likely to be infected? 4 days. Please remember, this is very important for MCQ. 4 days before and 5 days after appearance of rash. Okay, 4 plus 5. Okay, you have to remember this is very important for MCQs. 4 days before and 5 days after appearance of rash. Okay, so secondary attack rate. Okay, what is secondary attack rate? I think you should be you have known what is secondary attack by this time. So secondary attack is over 80% in susceptible contact. It is as high as other viral infection. Okay, it's a respiratory route which is very easily transmissible. Okay, so if a person comes in contact with the case of measles, it's the 80%, more than 80% of chance that the person will acquire measles. So it is very infectious and very highly transmissible disease. So for coming to the host factor, in what age it is most likely to cause the measles? In developing countries, it is 6 months to 3 years, like our country, because till 6 months the maternal antibodies which the child gets from mother, okay, so that will cover up with the infection and all in a normal scenario. Okay, so in after 6 months they are more likely to suffer with measles if they are not vaccinated. Okay, so in developed country the age group is little higher, more than 5 years, because they have a high coverage of immunization. Okay, and so that they'll get a measles infection little later. Okay, so that is the main thing. But in developed countries, I'd like to share a thing, because in developed countries nowadays there are some groups going against the vaccine. Okay, so they are anti-vaccination group. They are in many Western countries. So they are just telling that we should not vaccinate because you'll get your immunity by own. So that is causing an outbreak of measles in our lower age group in that developed country also. Okay, you can hear a news measles outbreak in different parts of Western world, like very developed countries like Canada and all. Okay, this I'll get you back in a minute. I'm getting a call from hospital director. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So I've told you about the age, about the host factor, so how it affects in different age group in different parts of world. Okay, so the infection acquired by male and female are equal. There's no gender discrimination when measles is getting infection to a male or female, so they are equally infected. Immunity, when you are once infected with measles, you will get a lifelong immunity, so their antibodies remain in our body for lifelong. Okay, that is one of the good thing about when you get a measles. Okay, but when you get measles, it is very difficult to be recovered. Okay, that is one of the thing. So infants, for infants, if a mother is infected with measles, it is high chance that infants will be, or a fetus will be infected. So the virus can be transmitted through the placenta. Okay, that is one of the things. Next, if like a child is malnourished, okay, the nutrition status is not good in a child, so it is very high chance, it is more than 400 times there's chance of mortality. So if it in a well nourished child, if you get measles, or while comparing to the undernourished child, so it's a high chance that a malnourished child will be having a mortality. Okay, that is very one of the important factor. Next is environmental factor. So we can see viral infection morely in winter. Okay, we can't say about coronavirus, but in measles, mostly it is the outbreak and different incidents of measles is seen in winter months. Okay, because in winter months they'll sit in a very cozy place, they'll be under inside a room, okay, in a very closed space for a longer time, so there is chance that they'll be infected with measles. Okay, So in a high population area and very vigorous movement, okay, we may get infection. Okay, so because as you know, as coronavirus, there is a high secondary attack rate. Okay, that is so one will infect 2, 3, 4. Okay, in a density place like measles is also in a similar condition. Okay, so in a poor and socioeconomic condition, there is a attack rate in a lower age group. Okay, very poor condition and low socioeconomic condition, they are very poor, they live in a very bad home condition, okay, housing condition, so they may get infection at a very earlier age. Okay, so transmission is from person to person by droplet infection or droplet nuclei. It's an airborne transmission, so there will be a droplet infection or droplet nuclei. So what will happen when you get measles? There is an incubation period, 10 days from exposure to onset of fever. Okay, the incubation period is 10 days from exposure to onset of fever. There are two incubation periods. Please remember, 14 days is to appearance of rash. Okay, so fever will come earlier than rash. Okay, do you understand? Because if you when you see a child in a clinic with rash and fever, so you have to ask a history of was the fever earlier than the rash or rash was earlier than a fever. So it will be one of the differentiating feature how to diagnose measles. Okay, so there are 3 stages in a natural history of measles. I think this you have studied in other disease condition like pertussis and other things also. So there will be a prodromal or pre-eruptive stage, and post-measles stage. Okay, prodromal is a pre-eruptive stage before the eruption of any rash. It begins 10 days after infection and lasts till 14 days. Okay, so incubation period, can you make out? Okay, it begins at 10 days after infection and lasts until 14 days. So it will remain for almost 4 days. Okay, it is characterized by low grade to moderate fever. At that time, the patient will have a low grade to moderate fever. They will not have a high fever like 102 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree in usual cases. Okay, so they'll have a dry cough. Next is coryza and conjunctivitis. Coryza means you'll have a runny nose. Okay, in measles, please remember 3C: cough, coryza, and conjunctivitis. These are the 3 main features of measles. When you in a PVQ, when you find features, okay, if they have told you about there was a cough, coryza, and conjunctivitis in a this much year of child, you have to think highly it is a measles. Okay, then a day or 2 before the appearance of rash, there will be a Koplik spot appear in the buccal mucosa. I'll tell what Koplik spot is. So in a figure, can you see there is some rash in between? There is a white color pus point. Okay, in a just part of a second molar tooth. Okay, this is a Koplik spot. This is a typical pathognomic sign of measles. So if you find everywhere, if you find everything about when you find a question with if there is a Koplik spot, you have to tell it is a measles. Okay, it's very important for your MCQ as well as PBQ. Okay, it occurs opposite to the lower molars. Okay, but may spread. Initially, it will appear near the molar. Okay, second molar, but it will spread irregularly over rest of the buccal mucosa. Okay, there will be a grayish white dot. Okay, grayish white dot usually has small grains of sand. There are small thing you'll see in the buccal mucosa. So this is the pathognomic sign of measles, Koplik spot. Please remember, in a prodromal phase, there are 3C: cough, coryza, conjunctivitis. Okay, the fever you will write, I know. Okay, next is Koplik spot will appear just before the rash appear. Okay, So second stage is eruptive stage. In that eruptive stage, you'll get a high fever. Okay, initially in pre-eruptive stage or prodromal phase, you'll get a low grade to moderate grade fever. But in eruptive stage, when there is a eruption of all rashes over the body, you'll get a high fever. Okay, initially first you'll get a PVQ with this history. Most of the PVQ with this history. Rash will start from the back of the ears. Okay, in the lateral part of neck, behind the ears, along the hairline. This is one of the typical features of measles. Okay, so rash will appear just behind the ears through the hairline. Our hairline is behind the ear, so it will start a rash from there only. Okay, so in that and that will appear towards the face and it will go downwards to the body. Okay, so in first 24 hours it will cover all the entire face, neck, upper arm, okay, and chest, everywhere. Okay, in next 24 hours it will go to the lower parts. Okay, back, abdomen, arms, thighs, and everything. Okay, now the itching is not so intense. It is will have a slight itching. Okay, mother will say that mother may not notice the that rash behind the ears. Okay, they may say it was started in the cheek and then it was spread to everywhere, behind the cheek and everywhere. Okay, they may not notice the rash in the hairline. Okay, in Nepal there is a system of giving massage and everything to a very small child, so they may notice. Okay, but in developed countries there is no that such tradition to give massage, oil massage and everything, so they may not notice. Okay, so it is a typical feature. Please remember, rash will start from behind the ears, okay, along the hairline, and will spread to the lower part of the body. So again, the rash will again fade up in the same sequence where it appears. In the upper part, it will go slowly, then it will go to the down parts. Okay, so after the rash fades away, there will be a brownish discoloration, and that will disappear after 7 to 10 days. Okay, so lymph node at the angle of jaw and posterior cervical region are generally enlarged. Okay, lymph nodes are palpable when you examine a child. Okay, slight splenomegaly may be noted when you palpate a spleen, so you may get a little enlarged spleen. So measles is one of the disease under surveillance by WHO. Even Nepal is running a program to do a surveillance for measles. Okay, so to catch up all the cases of measles, they have given some kind of case definition. Okay, clinical case definition when to suspect it is a measles. Okay, so they'll have a generalized rash lasting for more than 3 days and temperature more than 101 degree Fahrenheit and 3C, cough, coryza, conjunctivitis. Any of the three features, if they will see, they will just put this case under the case definition of measles. Okay, so fever with rash is all suspected to measles. Okay, so this is one of the surveillance, disease surveillance, okay, done by WHO. Even Nepal is doing in every health center of Nepal, that may be a private institution, medical college, health post, PHC, government hospital, and everywhere. Okay, so the complications of measles: diarrhea is the most common and most dreadful complication of measles. Please understand, diarrhea is most common and most deadliest. Okay, so if the patient with measles have diarrhea, they are more likely to have a higher chance of mortality. Like you have heard about coronavirus. If the GI symptoms are present in a patient with who are infected with coronavirus, they'll have a deadliest type of complication. So it is a similar in this measles also. Okay, they'll have a severe dehydration and they may die within hours. Okay, even in this measles. Okay, next complication is otitis media. So they'll have an infection of air. Okay, Next is pneumonia, which is very common. Okay, next is encephalitis, that is inflammation of brain. Okay, there is a swelling of our brain and everything. Next, other rare and life taking complication would be SSPE, subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. So there is the inflammation of whole brain. Okay, and that may be cerebrum, but dura mater, whatever, everything is inflamed. Okay, next is myocarditis. Next is exacerbation of existing tubercular process. If the child is having a tubercular infection, in that time, if a child gets measles, so there will be a exacerbation of that condition. Okay, next, after there will be a vitamin A deficiency. Okay, in a measles there will be a very lower down deficiency of lower down level of vitamin A in the body. So other differential diagnosis for measles would be German measles. German measles is rubella. Okay, rubella. Next is Roseola infantum, erythema infectiosum. These are all conditions which have fever with rash. Okay, these are all the condition which has fever with rash. Okay, so infectious mononucleosis, these all are viral condition which are similar to measles. Okay, next others would be meningococcemia, typhoid fever, scarlet fever. Next is live viral vaccine or drug eruptions. Okay, so typical rash of measles. Maculopapular rash of measles is often slightly hemorrhagic, may have petechiae and ecchymosis. Please, this is the typical rash of measles. Slightly hemorrhagic, maybe red in color. They have petechiae or ecchymosis. This is the typical feature rash of measles. So rubella. The appearance of rash is very early. There is no rise in temperature. Okay, but in measles there is a rise in temperature. Okay, so next, viral infection which has fever with rash. In this typical disease, Roseola infantum, the rash start in trunk, not behind the ears, along the hairline. Okay, there is a rash starting on trunk. This is one of the differentiating feature. Next is erythema infectiosum, which is also called as fifth disease. They don't have any prodromal features, and there is a slap face appearance, means there is a red rash in a cheek and all. Okay, and this rash is highly pruritic. Maybe they'll have a high intense itching. Okay, in measles there is no such intense itching. Next, in this infectious mononucleosis there will be a rash. Okay, but they have typical features of pharyngitis. Okay, they'll have pharyngitis. In measles you can see pharyngitis. So meningococcemia, there is a petechial purple color rash. Okay, petechia, they will not have a small maculopapular rash, they will have a petechial rash. In typhoid, the rose spot, the rash of typhoid is called as rose spot. Okay, it appears in the anterior trunk, not behind the ears, along the hairline. Okay, next, scarlet fever. There's a goose flesh texture or coarse sandpaper. You know what is goose flesh texture means? The rash appears like a goose skin. Okay, goosebumps. Do you remember goosebumps? In that way, and the tongue is red strawberry type, and this is the typical feature. But in measles, you don't find that kind of rash. How a diagnosis of measles is done? If there is any thing about fever with rash, that will be fever with rash and the typical features, Koplik spot. Okay, they'll have the rash start from the behind the ears, along the hairline towards the trunk. If you'll get some kind of this kind of typical features, so they can be diagnosed clinically. Or some investigation you can do, you can see a low blood count, that is leukopenia, and you can even test for measles IgM antibody. Okay, next is if IgM is seen positive through ELISA and other thing, we may find IgG antibodies are more than 4 times, okay, when you have measles. Or you can isolate a measles virus. That is not done in our country, which is very impossible. Okay, all the suspected measles case should be reported immediately. I've told you it is a disease under the surveillance. If you find any measles like case in a OPD or in a community, you should report that to WHO or authorized center. Treatment, there is no specific treatment, only supportive treatment. If you have a fever, give antibiotic. If you feel weakness, give bed, give a lot of fluids and bed rest. Okay, for immunocompromised patient, okay, with some kind of complication, we can give ribavirin. Okay, this is antiviral drug, 10 mg per kg per day for 5 days. Okay, this can be given only to a immunocompromised patient or with any complications. And the thing we can give for a measles patient is a vitamin A, because the vitamin A is highly reduced in our measles cases. So for 6 months and below of age, we'll give 50,000 international unit on our same day when we diagnose. In next day, we'll give a same dose. From 6 months to 12 months of age, we give 1 lakh international unit for 2 days. And from 1 year to 5 years, we give 2 lakhs international unit of vitamin A on for 2 days. Okay, that is the treatment, one of the treatment given for measles. So how can we prevent measles? We have started with the vaccination. Okay, WHO has started vaccination. So there are 2 vaccine, measles vaccine and measles mumps rubella vaccine. But in our country, we don't find MMR vaccine. We find M and R. Okay, measles and rubella combined. Okay. So it's a live attenuated vaccine. The strain is Edmond strain, Zagreb strain, and used in a distilled water. Dose is 0.5 ml, given subcutaneously. Okay, right upper arm. But measles vaccine in Nepal is given in a thigh, anterior part of thigh. Okay. So our immunization schedule, when it is given, first dose is given at 9 months and second dose is given at 15 months. Okay, so there are 2 doses. And I've told you in epidemic condition, if there is outbreak of measles in certain community or certain part, we start giving immunization as early as 6 months. Okay. So that is the one of the exceptional condition. Okay. Side effect would be a fever or a rash. Sometimes very rare condition, less than 0.01% SSPE. Toxic shock syndrome is one of the deadliest complication of measles vaccination. Okay. Efficacy is after first dose, the chance of protecting measles is 85%, and after second dose it is more than 95%. So there are 3 terms: catch up, keep up, and follow up. Okay, the catch up it is one of the thing used by WHO to catch up all the cases of from 9 months to 14 years of age. Okay, regardless their previous history of measles disease or vaccination status, they'll find all those cases and they'll give vaccine. Okay, next keep up phase, it is routine vaccination. Okay, routine vaccination, which we would cover more than 95% of each birth cohort. This follow-up is after such vaccination, we'll conduct that in every 3 to 5 years to catch up all the remaining cases. Okay, what we have done about that previous catch-up cases and all. These are 3 terms we use to surveillance of measles. Post-exposure. Okay, if you are exposed to the measles patient, what can we do? We can give a live measles vaccine within 72 hours. And immune globulin we can give within 6 days. Okay, so why immunoglobulin is needed in a child younger than 6 months of age and immunocompromised child? So there are 3 terms: control, elimination, and eradication. This all you know. It is similar to other control programs. Okay, measles control, measles elimination, and measles eradication. Eradication is not possible till now. Okay, measles control, it is controlled. It is in the controlled position in Nepal. Okay, there is no public health problem. Sometimes there would be an outbreak in certain part of Nepal. Okay, so this is the end of class. I think you should study a book part on measles. Please go and study a topic of measles today. So if you have any confusion, you can get on through me. Anything you'd like to talk about family medicine in the coming classes, please pre-inform me. There are some few scheduled classes from my side. Okay, but if you want something more to know, please communicate with me so that I can have a class. Okay, this is the end of class. The 55 students. Why so less attendance? So I'd like to leave. Any questions, you can just mail me or just go through any messenger or any Viber or something. Okay, thank you.